We swiftly approached the terminal building, where we tried every door on the tarmac side of the terminal building. Metal doors and roll-up garage bays were all closed and locked. They had been used for cargo and baggage handling, as evidenced by the carts spilled over with abandoned boxes and suitcases from the last flights ever made. Someone had rummaged through the bags. Women's dresses and men's business suits were plentiful. Jeans, jackets, t-shirts, and sweatshirts were absent. We stopped by the deep blackness of the first open roll-up door into the building. "Night vision," Lopez said. We dropped our packs, fetched our goggles, and put them on. Inside the building, a lifted monster truck was parked next to a stairway up to the gate level. I went to the truck and quietly opened the door. Candy wrappers fell out. I caught one, examined it closely, and sniffed at the wrapper. It was fresh. "Do zombs eat candy?" I asked. "Wrappers and all," Wilcox laughed wickedly. Reaching inside, I felt around for the keys. The ignition was empty. Walking around the truck, I put my hand on the hood, finding it faintly warm. "Do zombs drive?" "No." Wilcox's smile faded as he uttered the words, "scavengers." "Why would scabs jam radio traffic?" Lopez said. "Let's find out." I looked at Lopez and then at Jill. She returned my gaze through her monocular goggles, reminding me of a single-eyed cyborg from a bad sci-fi movie. I moved up the stairs, going first, followed closely by Escobar, Lopez, Jill, and then Wilcox. Since we'd caught up to the men at the highway off-ramp, Jill had moved with Lopez, not leaving his side. She used to do that with me, the J&J team. I wiped my nose and snorted as quietly as possible. A door at the top of the stairs was unlocked. We moved into the terminal near Gate 35 and started walking toward the security station. Wilcox followed me along the left side. Lopez and Jill stayed to the right along the windows. Escobar came up to the middle, turning occasionally to scan our six. We crouched and jogged, trying to stay protected from view behind support pillars, trash cans, and magazine racks. Wilcox moved up beside me as we ran from cover to cover. "Julie, Jule," he whispered. "What?" I glared at him in the darkness. "I find out who stole my picture, I'm going to kill them." "What does that mean?" He moved ahead of me without answering. I ran to catch up to him. "What the hell, Wilcox?" "You heard me." "I didn't steal your photograph." "Then you got nothing to fear." He trotted faster and further ahead of me, and I let him go. There was no Zom guards and no scavengers, but someone was here. They had to be, for the truck to still be warm. The place was strange, quietly weird. Even Escobar, who never said anything, whispered a comment to that effect. Our group came back together. We walked more closely together so we could communicate quietly as we approached the security officers and came to the Homeland Security TSA body search area. 3 big radioactive monsters that I'd been told had created the zombie infection out of a simple cold virus now stood harmlessly silent and foreboding, as if beckoning for more victims. We all paused and listened to the building. Not a sound came from the once bustling locale. I wondered how we could have let terrorists create the fear that pushed forward a technology for tyrants, only to have it result in the destruction of the world and a living nightmare for billions of people. We moved past security and came to a row of doors and doorways. The first 2 doors were restrooms. The next one was locked and unmarked. The 4th door was labeled Restricted Access and required a badge to get in. The door was propped open with a rolled-up magazine. "This is it. It has to be," I said. Lopez looked around and gestured. "Wilcox, Julie, and I go up. Escobar, Jill, you stay here. Find a hiding place in the food court. Keep your eyes open." "I'm with you," Jill said to Lopez. "I need you here," he replied. "I'm going with you." "No, you stay with Escobar. That's an order." "You don't order me. I'm going." Jill's voice grew louder. If there were zombies around, she was going to attract them to us. Quiet down, Jill. You're going to get us all killed, I said. Better than dying alone. Jill, Lopez ordered, you stay here, or I'm going to have you hogtied and your mouth duct taped until this mission is over. The men all smiled. Jill withheld any further protest, abruptly turning and stomping away. Listen, I said, hearing a rumbling from far away. What is that? We all fell silent for a moment. Escobar said, generators. They have electricity. As I opened the door, no one shot me, no zombies clawed at me. We went in. An elevator stood in the middle of a landing with a stairway wrapping around and leading both up and downwards. I moved up several steps, with the muzzle of my shotgun pointing the way. Wilcox came next with his M4 carbine, held ready to fire. Lopez came last, his M4 equally ready for action. On the way up, we passed several landings with doors which led to offices, maintenance rooms, and bathrooms for the long-absent air traffic controllers. 8 floors up, the stairway ended at a door next to a metal ladder leading towards a trapdoor in the ceiling. Up or in, I whispered to Lopez as he and Wilcox caught up with me. In. Someone is here. We need to take them out. Capture them if we can. Find out what is going on. I nodded and slowly turned the door handle. It opened into darkness. A faint light came from a panel of electronics. Someone moved in a short, shuffling sound, barely audible. The sound of music came to us. Lopez went into the room first, crouching low. I followed him. Wilcox stayed by the door, watching our backs. A lone human or zombie leader leaned back in a chair. His feet were up on the panel of computer displays, buttons and lights. The computer monitors were dark, but gauges showed the system was operating, blasting on all radio frequencies with static. Earbuds poked from the man's ears, playing music from an iPod. No one else was in the room. Lopez stood up straight and walked up behind the man, hitting him in the side of the head with his rifle butt. The man fell from the chair, sending the music player flying. A pistol dropped to the floor. Struggling to regain his feet, Lopez whacked him again with his rifle. A lever-action rifle lay across the control panel, which I secured by working the lever to eject all the ammunition onto the floor.